I put the Department of Navy first. I don't know why. But our next guest, I can't wait to bring on. She's a badass. I mean, not only is she, a fellow Marine, so that just makes her awesome, but she was a door gunner, a door freaking gunner. Like if you've ever watched Full Metal Jacket, I mean, a door gunner. I almost played that clip and I was like, I better not, because I'm probably going to trigger somebody's going to be like, oh, is that what she did? No. Well, maybe she did. I don't know. We'll ask. But our next guest is Lisa Bodenburg from the United States Marine Corps. Lisa, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
It's Thursday. People keep telling me. So I guess I'm good. They feel like the same day. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So you were a door gunner in the Marine Corps. I mean, we already know the Marines are the best, but tell us what it was like. I mean, you've been deployed, obviously, correct?
Yes, I've been deployed a couple of times. I've been to Iraq twice and Afghanistan, and I'm actually still, and I'm in the reserves right now.
Well, thank you for your service. It means a lot. I mean, I'm an old timer that went in back in '94, so it means a lot to see you younger Marines up there kicking ass still. No shame in my game. That's awesome. Thank you for what you're doing, and everybody out there should be high-fiving you right now for what you and your team are doing. So, a door gunner. What made you pick that MOS? I mean, that's just like, I'm sorry, I'm an 03, and I think that's a badass, that's a cool job to have. I want that job. I want to be a door gunner.
That's such a compliment, especially coming from an 03, because we all know that, every Marine a rifleman. So the backbone of the Marine Corps right there. But I absolutely love my job. I was very, very grateful and very lucky to get this position. I walked into the recruiter's office as a 17-year-old and said, what's the most combative position I can have? Actually, the first thing I asked them was, sign me up. I want to be force recon. And they kind of laughed at me because I didn't actually realize that you can't be on the front lines as a female. Well, at least you couldn't, many years ago back then. So I was actually so angry that I walked out of the recruiter's office. And then I settled down and I went back, and that's when I said, what's the most combative position I can have as a female? So they kind of did some digging and some research because nobody had ever asked them that before. And that's when the recruiters came up with a door gunner. And so we began. So I went through several tests and struggles to try to get all the way to the fleet to be a door gunner on Hueys, because there was a lot of people that didn't want me there and really just didn't think that I had what it takes. So it was a long road, but I'm very, very grateful. And it's been an amazing experience since.
See, that's awesome. See, yesterday we had the Marine rapper on. He's a combat vet, did 3 tours, and he was talking about the same thing about people, it's a downfall of a lot of people is everybody wants to hate. And, it's to me as an 03, I mean, number one, there's not a bad job in the Marine Corps. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think once you earn our title, it doesn't really matter what you do. And especially working in the media, I can tell folks when I'm talking to the media and I'm pitching, nobody asks what you do in the Marine Corps. I mean, it's cool. Right. I sexify it up when I'm like, she was a door gunner, or he was a recon Marine when we're talking, different. So it's fun to, but at the end of the day, people hear Marine. It's like saying Navy SEAL, but we don't write books. We actually do things for a living. So, sorry, Navy. The SEALs are out there like, we hate you. And I'm like, I know. It's okay. At least I spelled it right. And I used all capitalization like they require. So now you're out inspiring. So I want to talk about mental health. I know it's a key to all of us vets that are out there. And now people in the real world are now seeing what it's like. I mean, this is a mental beatdown, being stuck in your home, not allowed to go out and do the simple things. And I wanted to jump in and talk about mental health. I know that. So talk about how you got into talking about mental health and fitness. Your eating habits. I see on social media what you're eating, and I'm like, if I tried to eat that, I don't know if I could. It's a lot of kale. I mean, I try. I do my best. I have my protein shakes, and I try to eat good. I mean, I've lost 50 pounds, so damn it, it's kind of working. But talk to us about your background and how you got into that. And then let's jump into the mental health side of the house.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was forced to quickly get out of the Marine Corps because of some injuries and just kind of the way that life happens, and so you have to learn how to bend and hopefully not break. And that's kind of the point that I arrived at. I was out of the Marine Corps, and I wasn't sure really what to do or where to go, and I was really struggling. I hit a point where I was struggling with depression for so long. I just didn't know what to do. I remember looking myself in the mirror and just saying, the one thing that I can control is the fact that I can go to the gym, and that I know that if I go to the gym, there's a physiological effect between my brain and my body that when I go to the gym, I know I'm going to feel better. So even though I didn't want to go to the gym, even though I didn't have the energy, I just looked myself in the mirror and I said, you're going to do a competition. And what I meant by that was a bodybuilding competition. And I was nowhere near prepared to compete in a bodybuilding show at this time in my life. But I just put that goal out there and I just continued to go for it. And so every day I went to the gym, and even if it was only 10 minutes, I still went. And it slowly helped me to feel better and to look better. And then I gained my confidence back. And the next thing you know, I'm on stage and I'm competing in an actual bodybuilding competition. So I used that, and I didn't want others, I still don't want others to have to go all the way down that rabbit hole that I ended up going down. So I use my experience to help them and to help others wherever they're at, come out from that depression, come away from that, and just use the tools that they have right now to not suffer the way that I suffered. I struggled with depression for so long that I actually, I experienced, a suicide attempt. And I'm very, very grateful to be here today. And I just don't want others to have to go through that pain that I once went through. And fitness truly saved my life. So that's what led me into my passion right now. And I'm currently a fitness and nutrition coach. And I use motivation and inspiration as a tool to help others realize that you can have a better life than what you're experiencing. And a lot of people, a lot of leaders especially, I know in my own shoes, I was especially afraid to come forward and to talk about the issues that I was struggling with, which only made that worse for me. Because I was afraid that as a leader and as a Marine, too many people looked up to me. And if I come out with this, it's going to appear like a weakness, when in reality, our weakness and our vulnerability is actually a strength. It's not a weakness at all. So I helped encourage other people right now to see that and to recognize that it's okay to ask for help and to get the help you need. And you really do have the tools available right now, especially during this pandemic. It's really important right now to focus not only on our physical health, but our mental health as well. 1 in 5 Americans struggle from a mental health disorder at some point in their life, and over 47,000 Americans commit suicide every year. So it's preventable, and there's no reason to stay silent about it. And there's so many tools at your fingertips that you don't have to suffer in silence, and you don't have to suffer at all. So that's really what my drive is and what my passion is, and just helping others connect the dots between their mental and their physical health, and the importance of how they can do that, especially right now during this pandemic. It's crazy times right now, and I just want people to know that they have resources for them.
That was deep. I love that. Great. Thank you for sharing that. I think this is why I started Thursdays being what they are. It's not just fluff and all this. It's us sharing our stories so people understand that when you're talking and hearing about what's going on in the veteran community, when you see these politicians that are out there talking about thanking us for our service and all this other hogwash, that they really don't care. And this isn't just one administration, it's several, where they say they're going to fix the VA and do these things. And mental health seems to take the back seat when it comes to the veteran community. And even in the American persona, I mean, people made fun of Kevin Love from the NBA for talking about his disorders that he had when it came to mental health and depression. So it's good that, I think it's amazing that, especially the veteran community, we're open about it. We have no shame in our game. But before you go, before we kind of wrap up and move to our next guest, I do want to cover, because I loved it and I've been using it since you and I had our chat offline, the Marine mindset. Tell folks what's that mean, and kind of dig into that, because I love that term, because I always go around going, adapt and overcome, adapt and overcome. I mean, I heard my wife yesterday, she said two things on a phone call that always makes me laugh. The first was a couple years ago, she started saying, whose boot is that? Which made me laugh, because hearing my wife say that to somebody at the PTA was pretty funny. And she was standing in line when somebody was screwing something up. She's like, whose boot is that? And I'm like, used properly. That's awesome. Unfortunately, nobody knew what she was saying. And then yesterday, I heard her on a Zoom call going, adapt and overcome. That's what we have to do. We have to adapt and overcome. And I'm like, I'm rubbing off. So Marine mindset, let's jump into that. The listeners out there, there's a lot of vets, but a lot of in the regular community. What is the Marine Corps mindset to you?
Absolutely. So the Marine Corps mindset to me is exactly what you said. It's adapt and overcome. When you see a wall in front of you and you feel like you have to get to the other side and there's no door, well, break down the wall, make a door, create a path where there isn't one. Instead of always talking about reasons why you can't do something, create solutions on how you can. And that's no different in your job or in your personal life or right now in this, during this pandemic. And having that Marine mindset is the ability to know that you can truly do anything you put your minds to. And the best way that I do that, because I'm consistently evolving and I have my own struggles as well. Now that I'm not struggling with depression and suicide anymore, that doesn't mean that every day there aren't its own struggles and its own battles. And you really can't compare. You can't say that one is greater than the other, no matter who you're talking to, because everyone is looking at their own struggles differently and everyone handles things differently. But having that Marine mindset where you are absolutely positively going to find the solution and you're going to do everything that it takes. Once you make your mind up and you understand that you can truly do anything that you put your mind to, the world is limitless. And I use my Marine routine. It's my morning routine where it takes maybe 10 minutes every morning and it sets me up for success every single day. So on those days that I'm struggling or I don't know where to start or what to do, I go back to the routine that I've created. I have it written out. It's a step-by-step plan that takes, like I said, no more than 10 minutes to add it to my day. And it sets me up for success every single day because I need that reminder as well. And I know a lot of people who do, especially right now. So just being certain of the fact that you can truly do anything you put your mind to. And even when you are faced with the most impossible situation, knowing that deep down inside you can figure it out and you can do it.
I love it. Perfect. So as we close out here and bring on our next guest, and by the way, anybody who's in another branch, you can insert your mindset into their Army mindset. This isn't saying that ours is the dominant one. I mean, it is the best and the oldest, but and proven. But other branches, I mean, the Army, I know my next guest in the Army, and I know I'm going to get crap for this, but I could bash on the Air Force because that's fine. And Coast Guard, I don't even know if they have a mindset. This is called waking up. But thank you for coming on. So tell folks how they could get a hold of you if they'd like to talk to you about your coaching, just get a hold of you for inspiration. I know that you have an amazing group. They've been reaching out to our team to come on as guests. Tell folks how they could get in contact with you. Plug away. This is your time.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. The quickest way to get in touch with me is on Instagram, Lisa Bodenburg. If you can't see how to spell my name there, but if you're not remembering it, just also search Lisa Liberty and I pop up. Facebook as well, Lisa Bodenburg. And if you want to check out that Marine routine that I was just talking about, it's free. You can go to libertybellfitness.com and just plug in your email address, and it's a free download. And I have received the most amazing feedback from it. So if it's something that you need more energy, productivity, just another step in your day to set yourself up for success and you don't know where to begin, libertybellfitness.com, and you can download that free routine that I was talking about.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. We're going to have you back on again very soon. You are you're inspiring, you're empowering. I love it. It's great to see another Marine just out there kicking ass and taking names. It's good that we take care of our community. We share our stories. We wear our hearts on our sleeve. And I think that's a great thing about our community. You are another one of those amazing veterans that believes that service never ends. And I absolutely love that about our community. It's not an age thing with us. We take care of each other, our brothers and sisters to our left and our right. So I thank you so much. Can't wait to have you on the show again.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you real soon.